A hugely influential author and critical race theory advocate, Robin DiAngelo, says she had an out-of-body experience when she found out she was white. Have a look.
Talk to me about when you first realized you were white and whiteness. Yeah, talk to me about that.
It was a very abstract sense. I honestly believe I was about 34 years old. I was college educated. I was a parent. And someone handed me Peggy McIntosh's article.
Yep.
And I read through that list and I had an out-of-body experience. I could tell you where I was sitting. I'm not ever going to forget that moment where all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I'm white.
Yep. Yep.
And I felt so loudly white that I remember being hesitant to go outside. I didn't want to go outside because everybody could see that I was white.
Oh, good Lord. I'm now joined by Rav Arora, a writer and opinion contributor for the New York Post. Rav, thank you for joining us. Firstly, how does it take someone 34 years to realise they're white? And secondly, what on earth is she talking about? Why would she be scared to go outside and have this shocking reaction to finding out what colour she is?
First of all, it's good to be here again, Rita. Glad to be back on the show. And I think this quite shocking, quite bizarre, uncanny incident, I think what it shows most is the religious fundamentalist kind of bent of our new anti-racist movement. It is not just secular. It is not just materialistic. It attempts to do something much more than that, which is to kind of fulfill a spiritual impulse, if you will, and it does a quite bizarre and embarrassing attempt at that. And Robin DiAngelo, the way she describes this feeling of realizing that she is white, it's akin to somebody describing their experiences after taking psychedelic mushrooms or after experiencing some kind of transcendental mindfulness meditation practice. That is the kind of experience she's talking about there. But of course, she's just talking about race. She was talking about not some kind of Buddhist teaching. She was talking about this essay she was given, Peggy McIntosh's infamous essay on white privilege. And DiAngelo describes her experience as an out-of-body experience, and I think that this is where we are running into the problem of politics and ideology trying to replace religion or spirituality in our society. The problem is the two just cannot converge. You cannot have ideology replace the need for connection, for unconditional love or relationship with God, if you will. And this is just one of the many problems that we have with our anti-racist discourse.
Rav, the critical race theory and this supposed anti-racism, which a lot of times looks like blatant racism, is like a religion for these people, and anybody who questions it is committing blasphemy and must be punished. I mean, there's so many examples of that, but it's easy to watch that and dismiss her as some raving, fringe-dwelling, race-obsessed nincompoop who just exists in academia. But as we have seen, critical race theory is not just prevalent in universities, but in public and increasingly private institutions and government institutions and companies. Even the American Academy of Neurology is spouting about critical race theory ideas. Have a look at this.
At the AAN, we believe embracing and leveraging our organizational values of inclusion, diversity, equity, anti-racism, and social justice, also known as ideas. This is critical to our success. In 2021, all committee chairs, committee members, and our staff will receive anti-racism education.
Rav, this is the world's largest association of neurologists and neuroscience professionals. Even they are succumbing to this sort of ideological craziness. They're supposed to be scientists.
Yeah, no, it's quite absurd. And the way that I like to look at it is that currently, right now, we are living through two viruses. The first one is the COVID-19 virus, and the second virus is of wokeness, specifically racial wokeness. And this virus of racial wokeness, it is ever evolving. It propagates, it mutates, it parasitizes, and affects all institutions from education to media to journalism to the pop culture to the labor market. Really, it kind of infects all aspects of society, and most troublingly, it affects these institutions where objectivity, rationality, the scientific method are so important. And when we've seen this here with this latest example that you've shown, you see this in hiring, for example. You see the United Airlines in the United States a couple of months ago announced that they wanted 50% of their pilots to be female or people of color. And then they wanted to reach that goal by 2030. And so more and more this ideological radicalism, this racial essentialism, this inordinate focus on race is becoming mainstream more and more in all these institutions. And the result of this is going to be only a degradation of quality. It is going to be the devaluation of merit over immutable characteristics. And the future does not bode well as we see more and more mainstream institutions in academia and other places succumb to this racial wokeness.
Absolutely, Rav, and I love that you use the example of the airlines there, because if there's one job where I want the very best person, regardless of colour or gender, to get the role, is airline pilots. So that is the last job you want quotas and 50% targets for diversity. Rav Arora, thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thanks, Rita. Appreciate it.